Hare Krishna, a very warm welcome to all of you. Today I'll be speaking on 6 symptoms of surrender, taken from the book The Nectar of Instruction, written by Srila Rupa Goswami. We'll see the 6 symptoms of surrender. First symptom, acceptance of those things favorable to devotional service. The devotees has to accept everything that is favorable for the service to the Lord. What are the things favorable for Krishna consciousness? Prasadam. Offer food to God Krishna before eating yourself. Nam Jap. Perform mantra meditation, japa, that is chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna daily. Satsang. Have association of spiritually minded people. Adhyayam. Undertake study of scriptures daily. Srila Prabhupada explains, on one side, a person should cultivate Krishna consciousness, and on the other side, he should try to give up all his bad habits. Both sides must be there if he wants to advance. Just like when a person is diseased, the doctor prescribes some medicine, and at the same time, he instructs the patient in what to eat and what not to eat. That is the proper way of treatment. It is not that the patient can eat whatever he likes, and if he simply takes the medicine, he will be cured. Similarly, it is nonsense to think that you can do whatever you like, and if you simply chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you will become spiritually advanced. We have to practice tapasya by voluntarily accepting a little inconvenience, in which we voluntarily give up things we may like and accept things we may not like. The second symptom of surrender, rejecting of unfavorable things. Now we'll see the things unfavorable for Krishna consciousness. Non-veg, no meat eating, no fish, no seafood, no eggs. Intoxication, no alcohol, no drugs, no tobacco, no pan masala, no tea coffee. Gambling, no horse race, no stock market speculation, no casino, no lotteries, no quick buck business. Illicit sex, no extramarital sex, obscene films, vulgar talks. A devotee must reject everything unfavorable to spiritual progress. This is also called renunciation. Once, an interviewer asked Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, what does it mean practically to surrender unto Krishna? Srila Prabhupada answered, yes, surrender to Krishna means you have to accept things which is favorable for Krishna consciousness. Just like we restrict our students, no illicit sex, no gambling, no meat eating, no intoxication. If you surrender to this process, that is surrender to Krishna. Is it clear? Just like a diseased patient, if he wants to enjoy life in his own whimsical way, he will continue his disease. He accepts the modes of life according to the directions of the physician. Then he becomes free from all disease. Third symptom of surrender, conviction that Krishna will give protection. A devotee must be firmly convinced that Lord Krishna will give him protection. No one else can actually give one protection. When Prahlad Maharaj offered prayers to Narasimhadev, he said, "My dear Lord, one should not think that because a child has a father and mother, he has full protection. If Krishna did not protect a child, the child cannot be protected, even if he were to have thousands of fathers and mothers. It is not that a good physician or good medicine can protect one from disease. Suppose a rich man is suffering from some disease, and he hires a first-class physician and takes first-class medicine. Does it mean that his life is guaranteed? No. Despite good medical treatment and a good supply of medicine, he may die. Srila Prabhupada explains, there may be many expert physicians treating a diseased man, but there is no guarantee that he will live. If Krishna so wills, a person will die despite the best physicians and medicines. On the other hand, if Krishna is protecting us, we will survive even without medical treatment. A 5-year-old devotee of Lord Krishna, Prahlad Maharaj, continues, one may have a good ship, but this does not guarantee that he will not drown in the ocean. For example, Titanic. If you do not protect, it may drown at any moment. Srila Prabhupada explains, nature offers so many difficulties, and although scientists may try to invent something to check these difficulties in the struggle for existence, unless Krishna gives one protection, one's inventions will be of no use. The fourth symptom of surrender: acceptance of the Lord as one's guardian or master. Feel exclusively dependent on the mercy of the Lord. The devotee must accept Krishna as his supreme maintainer and master. He must depend on Lord Sri Krishna only, considering him the only protector. The devotee must be firmly convinced that within the three worlds he has no protector or maintainer other than Lord Sri Krishna. When one is fully surrendered to Lord Krishna, he becomes happy, knowing that regardless of the situation, Krishna will definitely protect him. He is just like a child who is fully surrendered to his mother, confident that she is there to protect him. The fifth symptom of surrender: full self-surrender. Have no interest separate from the interest of the Lord. Self-surrender means remembering that one's activities and desires are not independent. The devotee is completely dependent on Lord Sri Krishna, and he acts and thinks as Krishna desires. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Parth, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind, thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. A Paramhamsa has no program for sense gratification. He is interested only in satisfying the senses of the Lord. The sixth and the last symptom of surrender: always feel oneself meek and humble. Trinad api sunichena taror eva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. meaning one who thinks himself lower than the grass, who is more tolerant than a tree, and who does not expect personal honor, yet is always prepared to give all respect to others, can very easily always chant the holy name of the Lord. Unless one is meek and humble, to make progress in spiritual life is very difficult. Taken from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, Text 8. A Vaishnava should never disturb any other living entity with his body, mind, or words. He should always be tolerant and never belittle others. Although a Vaishnava may act powerfully against the demons for Lord Krishna's sake, as did Arjun, Hanuman, and many other great devotees, a Vaishnava becomes very meek and humble in regard to his own reputation. Taken from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 18, Text 31. One should be very meek and humble in his personal transactions, and if insulted, a Vaishnava should be tolerant and not angry. But if there is a blasphemy against one's guru or another Vaishnava, one should be as angry as fire. This was exhibited by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Romharshana Sut was very learned and had been given the chance to become a Brahmin. He had not become gentle. From this, we can understand that when one is puffed up by material acquisitions, he cannot acquire the gentle behavior befitting a Brahmin. The learning of such a person is as good as a valuable jewel decorating the hood of a serpent. Reference taken from Krishna Book, Chapter 78, The Killing of Dantavakra, Vidurata, and Romaharshana. If a person does not become meek and humble, all his studies of the Vedas and Puranas and his vast knowledge in the Shastras are simply outward dress, like the costume of a theatrical artist dancing on the stage. Reference taken from Krishna Book, 78th chapter, The Killing of Dantavakra, Vidurata, and Romaharshan. God is unconquerable, and he cannot be understood by a puffed up mentality that I can know him. No. God can be known by the meek and humble who is submissive and who takes the shelter of a God realized person and tries to hear from him. God can be understood by one who thinks himself as very humble and meek. That is also said in the Bible that one has to become meek and humble. Then he can understand. And that is also Krishna demanding that first surrender, become humble and meek. This is the verdict of all Vedic Shastras. Thank you. Hare Krishna.